on the show today, I'm in conversation with eminent industry leaders, and we're taking stock of India's digital journey over the last couple of years. Joining me now is Puneet Chandok, President, Commercial Business, AWS India and South Asia. Puneet, welcome to Digital India Vision 6.0 on CNBC-TV18. Thanks very much for joining us here today.
Pleasure to be here, and I'm thrilled to join the conversation with you, Midhu, today.
Well, let me begin by saying that, of course, AWS is a partner in the government's Digital India mission. First, how would you rate the progress that we've made over the last couple of years? And two, what should our next most immediate milestones or goals be?
I do believe that this is going to be India's decade. And there are three reasons why I'm making that statement and why I believe India is well positioned. One, if you look at the India stack, and this is not new news, but the key here is that over the last few years in India, we've built the three digital infrastructure highways, which allow Indian businesses to build and pick up pace, right? And Aadhaar, everybody knows about Aadhaar, the largest biometric system in the world. But guess what, right? It allows Indians to open a bank account today in less than a minute, right? And these digital infrastructure highways have really kind of made that possible. Second, I think I'm seeing a lot of confidence and I'm seeing a lot of excitement for technology from Indian businesses, right? They're moving at a speed that I've never seen before. And this crisis has taught us many things, but the one lesson that has stood by me is the need to adapt to uncertainty very quickly, right? And the problem in India was most businesses were optimized for efficiency and not agility. But now with cloud and technology, all of that is starting to change, and I'm seeing change at a speed that I've never seen before. Digital roadmaps are being deployed in weeks, not months and years, which is terrific. And then the third thing that gives me confidence is just the runway that India has for growth and innovation. And I'll just give you some statistics, right? I mean, Indian consumers, we all know that 1.17 billion mobile subscribers. Every second person in India today has access to internet, lowest cost of data in the world. Look at enterprises, 1,200 plus large publicly listed enterprises. Look at startups. India has become the home for B2B and B2C startups, 40,000 plus startups, 58 unicorns, and counting, 22 itself this year. But you're seeing tremendous growth across the startup ecosystem in India. SMBs, India has 75 million SMBs, which are the backbone of India. Again, just it's one of the largest markets in the world for technology companies to serve, right? So if I bring all of these three things together, Mridhu, the foundational digital infrastructure, which is now in place, the tremendous opportunity we have across SMBs, startups, and enterprises, and the speed and agility with which Indian businesses are now starting to move, I do believe it's going to be India's decade.
Right, absolutely. Indeed, it will be India's decade, or a decade as we are now calling it. Well, you spoke briefly about cloud, and I want to talk a little more about that. The cloud is definitely a game changer, as far as businesses are concerned, as far as even governance is concerned. So give us a few examples of possibilities that are being unlocked by harnessing the cloud and the kind of transformation that we as citizens of India should expect going forward, thanks to the agility that the cloud is offering to us.
Now in India, we're pretty much seeing virtually every industry being reinvented by the cloud, be it financial services, banks, insurers, manufacturing firms, auto firms, media. And I'll give you a couple of examples to bring this to life. I'll give you a financial services example. Axis Bank, which is working with AWS to build a portfolio of digital financial services for 200 million customers, including accounts that can be opened in a few minutes.
Absolutely.
They're migrating 70% of their on-prem infrastructure onto the cloud in the next 24 months to reduce cost, improve agility, and then provide a better experience to their customers. I'll give you another example from agriculture, which really impacts citizens. Cropin, which is a very interesting agri-tech startup, leveraging the power of cloud and AWS, they've successfully digitized 2.1 million farmers and 6.1 million acres of farmland in India. This is across the length and breadth of India. And that allows them to deliver greater efficiency, productivity, and much more sustainable outcomes for farmers in India, right? So if I bring all of this together, cloud is the biggest technology shift of our time.
Right.
And it's not just a tech shift, right? It's a new way of doing business. It's a new way of operating. And in India, as you'll see from these examples, right, it's starting to drive scale, agility, and innovation like we've never seen before.
Right, very interesting examples there, Puneet. Let's also talk about what is going on at AWS. A few months ago, AWS had collaborated with Niti Aayog to launch a Frontier Technologies Cloud Innovation Center. Tell us the kind of ideas that it is testing with nonprofits, with educational institutions, and the kind of impact that it can create in future for citizens.
The Cloud Innovation Center program, as you called it, Midhu, is a long-term public-private collaboration. And the intent is to bring the expertise of public sector organizations together with Amazon's innovation and technology leadership. And the Niti Aayog Frontier Technology Cloud Innovation Center that's being built in collaboration with AWS is the first CIC in India. And the objective is to help address the society's challenges through digital innovation.
Right.
And the core mission of this is to identify and deploy solve large problems, right, through leading edge technology and drive continuous innovation in the delivery of citizen services. The way this will work, Mridhu, is the CIC will work with various ministries of the government of India to identify and prioritize projects. We'll collaborate with local leaders, including subject matter experts at the state and the district level. And the intent is to solve critical public sector challenges. We'll also bring together enterprises, startups, researchers, universities in India to experiment and build prototypes on AWS. And we're starting off with a focus on a few areas like agriculture that I spoke about earlier, health, skill development, and employment in India.
Right. And of course, India is a hub for innovation, for startups, for SMEs, and AWS has been very focused on digitalizing SMBs, also enabling startups like you were just talking, you gave us some examples of that. Give us a sense of the impact that you've made so far, and what are some of the big technology shifts that you think small businesses should really be cognizant of in order to leapfrog into the future?
We very recently launched something called the Amazon Digital Suite. Basically, the Digital Suite is a set of easy-to-use, ready-made software powered by AWS, available through the Amazon.in marketplace. And it's designed to automate the SMB's day-to-day business needs, right? Like GST compliance, accounting, payments, inventory, customer support, payroll, HR. And we're partnering with a really interesting set of ISV solution partners like ClearTax, Freshworks, Great EHR, Razorpay, Zoho, to make this happen, right? And the intent is to simplify technology, make it very easy for them to access it, deploy it very quickly so that you don't need a lot of support. And that is the way we will unlock innovation in SMBs in India, right? By simplifying technology, by solving their critical business problems and not trying to sell technology, and getting to them through innovative channels, and then supporting them in a simpler way at a much lower cost point.
That's pretty fascinating, Thank you for those insights. And the future is something that we are all really looking forward to. And technology, of course, is going to shape everything that we do. I want to ask you, what is your long-term vision for AWS India from here on? Give us a sense of the milestones that you're going to be chasing, especially as you are a critical partner to the government's Digital India mission as well.
AWS is India's most comprehensive and broadly adopted cloud platform. With 200 plus services, and these are fully featured services. We're innovating faster than anywhere else on the cloud. And today in India, we've got hundreds of thousands of active AWS customers across enterprises, digital businesses, SMBs, startups, and public sector institutions. And Mridhu, we're leading in India with a mission, and I spoke about this, right? And our mission is to empower builders and businesses to build a better India. And we will do this by doing three things. One is becoming India's most customer-obsessed tech business. Second, building India's best tech team. And then third, investing in India to reinvent technology experiences and deliver impact at scale. I'll give you a couple of examples to bring this to life. We have a large region in India, in Mumbai, and we're going live next year with a second region in Hyderabad. And we're thinking big and long-term for India for the next few decades as we build the infrastructure for the country. I'll give you another example of digital skill gaps in India. Digitally skilled workers today represent 12% of our workforce in India. And India will need 9x the number of digitally skilled people by 2025, 9x. And we're working and making significant investments to bridge this gap and skill people at scale in India, right? So bring all of this together. We truly want AWS to be a force that moves India forward, and we're working hard towards that.
Finally, I'm just going to ask you to very briefly tell me what will define the true success of Digital India for you?
I think the real success for India and the Digital India mission will be if we can really change lives and livelihoods of Indians. And I've spoken about our mission. I've spoken about how we're building AWS as a force to move the country forward. But ultimately, for us, success is when we can truly democratize technology for citizens and businesses in India. It's starting to happen. I think we need to scale it up. Any of us today sitting in a Starbucks or a cyber cafe in Jaipur can access as much compute, database, storage, analytics as large corporations with billions of dollars of budgets, and armies of people could do this. And imagine the unlock in India. 1.3 billion Indian minds can access this technology. And I think that's what we all have to do, Mridhu. We have to simplify technology. We have to make it accessible to a billion Indians, and that's how we'll unlock innovation in the country.
Puneet Chandok, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for joining us here on Digital India Vision 6.0. That's a wrap on this edition of the show. We'll be back next time. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mridhu.